What's good, YouTube? My name is Kosher Nosher, back at you guys with another review. Let's hop right into it. Alright fam, PG2 box. We haven't reviewed one of these in a while. It's actually a 2.5 Nike PG 2.5 PlayStation collab in a size 11. The colorway is wolf gray / multicolor. Fam, let's check these sneakers out. Alright guys, there is the sneaker itself, the Nike PG 2.5 in the PlayStation collab. I had to pick these things up, especially considering the resale price point on these things has yet to elevate to like an astronomical level. We're not talking about 3 times retail, 2 times retail yet. It's actually relatively close to retail, so these were a must for me. I was definitely excited about these. I've actually kind of been a gamer, you know, since I was a little guy, man. I played sports, and if I was inside, I'd be playing video games or doing my homework or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So they've always kind of been a part of my life. Although I wasn't able to pick up the PlayStation 1 as soon as it dropped, I do remember saving up birthday money, Christmas money, stuff like that. I finally went out and picked up a PlayStation 1. I'm pretty sure I copped like a second controller. The only thing I had money for at the time was Final Fantasy 7. I was a big like role-playing guy back then, very, very nerdy. And then eventually I started picking up things like Need for Speed and sports games and stuff like that. So these things for me were kind of a must, as I said, because of that price point. Now, if you've been following the Paul George line since the PG1, there hasn't really been a whole ton of hyped colorways. There has been some, like the eyeball colorways and stuff like that, but it really wasn't until the PG2, and they really hyped it up with that PlayStation 2 collab, which of course was the first initial colorway of those to drop. They didn't hit a lot of stores. I know around here, they didn't hit, you know, Foot Locker and stores like that around here. So it was kind of a surprise that my Foot Locker got pairs of these. Having said that, Foot Locker dropped these things early online, a couple days early accidentally, and before they realized their mistake, they had already sold a whole bunch of pairs. Some people's orders got fulfilled, some people's orders got canceled. I know when I was talking to people at my Raleigh Foot Locker, they essentially told me that they had to fulfill a lot of online orders with their stock. So if you were trying to cop them from brick and mortar stores, your chances were rapidly depleting because their stocks were going down at certain stores. So I actually wasn't able to cop. I had to sort of go a different route. I had to get my hands on these, especially with the light up tongue, man. It just makes them unique. You've got some light ups in the tongue. Of course, it's controlled by a button right behind the tongue. There's a solid feature to the light, so you can hit that button once and turn it on and it gives you solid light. If you hit it again, it actually strobes kind of on and off, as the PlayStations have done over the years. Unfortunately, the left sneaker, which features the actual PlayStation logo on it, the lighting is very, very dull. The light on the back of the tongue, on the actual button itself, is way more vibrant than what you see through the front of the tongue. Basically, you have to be in really, really dim conditions, or essentially at night, to really see any light coming out of this shoe. So in that sense, it's a little bit of a letdown. But guys, when we grab the right shoe, which of course features the PG logo, we can turn those things on. And even in my hand right now, you can see that logo is lit up. It's a very vibrant, sort of like almost electric kind of blue. Really dope, man. And of course you have the lit feature. As I said, you got that strobe feature. All you have to do is press the button again. The button itself is very sensitive. I actually didn't even realize they strobed until I had them on feet and somebody was like, yo, switch it up to the strobe feature. And when I did that, bam, blew my mind all over again. You have a lot of dope PlayStation inspired accenting, like on the actual strap itself. It features square, X, circle, and triangle that are of course featured on the PlayStation controller as the buttons themselves. It makes its reappearance again on this back heel portion of the shoe, which is very cool. They hit you with Nike swooshes on the midsole. As you turn to the medial portion of the shoe, the swoosh is up a little bit, but the really cool feature about that is, again, they hit you with all 4 colors that are featured again on the actual buttons of the PlayStation controller. So a lot of little subtle nods to PlayStation. As you look at the insole itself, you have that galaxy vibe where it's essentially like almost like looking up into space and you just see all the stars and stuff. To me, another very cool feature, another cool nod, because of course that was PlayStation 2's original like background, backdrop when you were just sitting idle like in the menus and stuff. The outsole itself, you have that icy bottom with a couple hits of blue right here and on the actual PG logo itself. When you look at the upper lace holes, you have the return of those same colors that are on the actual PlayStation buttons again. And what they did, which makes it kind of unique, is that on each shoe, you have all 4 colors between the actual lace holes and the actual swooshes themselves. Very cool. I love the subtle nods. I love when they do stuff like that. As you work your way to the back booty of the shoe, one shoe features Paul, one shoe features George. The wolf gray colorway, man, let me know, do you guys like this wolf gray colorway better than the originals? I know the originals are more hyped than these, But this wolf gray colorway, to me, it's really unique. I love wolf gray and cool gray. It's just a color that you can really kind of blend with just about anything. I've actually worn these things once already. I couldn't resist, and I probably got, in one day's span, more responses and more questions about these shoes and the fact that they light up than probably anything that I can remember wearing anytime recently. So it was definitely a fun shoe to wear. Not a good shoe to wear if you're trying to go incognito for that day, because people are going to stop you and ask you what in the world you have on your feet if they aren't aware as to what this shoe is. And it's kind of a universal vibe with some of us guys, because people will either recognize it as a basketball shoe, they'll recognize it as the actual collab because they're familiar with sneakers and these collabs, or they'll just recognize all the PlayStation branding, and it'll kind of speak to them because of that, because there's so many gamers out there. What do you guys think? Let me know in that comment section down below. I don't think I'm gonna post the on feet with these right now because it's snowing outside like crazy. If I get enough comments down below, I'll make a separate on feet video for you guys, but more than likely you guys have seen these things on feet in a couple other videos. Appreciate you guys rocking with me. Stay blessed, fam.